Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again for our time together. I want to talk to you today about a problem that we see in leadership around the world, and it's nothing new. In fact, if you go with me from Genesis to Revelation of the Bible, you'll find that almost without exception, every great problem of the people of God is because of poor leadership that has been over them. I want to show you a time in which the glory of God departed from the temple in Jerusalem. Of course, it's the story of Ezekiel. Beginning of Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 7. And he brought me into the entrance of the court, and I looked, and there was a hole in the wall. Then he said to me, Son of man, dig in the wall. So I dug in the wall, and behold, there was an entrance. And he said to me, Go in and see the vile abominations that they are committing there. So I went in and saw. And there engraved on the wall all around was every form of creeping things and loathsome beasts and all the idols of the house of Israel. And before them stood 70 men of the elders of the house of Israel, with Jaazaniah the son of Shaphan standing among them. Each had his censer in his hand, and the smoke of the cloud of the incense went up. And he said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in the dark? What they're doing in the dark, each in the room of his pictures. For they say, The Lord does not see us. The Lord has forsaken the land. There are times in which leaders feel God has forsaken them. Maybe it's the death of a child. Maybe it's they feel that God didn't answer their prayer, that God didn't provide, that something has failed that they were doing in the ministry. There comes a point when there are leaders that feel that God has forsaken them. And when they get like that, something changes in their hearts. And then you begin to find leaders that in the dark, in their privacy, where they think God does not see, they begin to do horrible, despicable things, thinking that God does not see. I talked with a pastor one time. His wife had asked him to come and see me. He'd been watching horrible, horrible pornography videos in the church office, in the place where he was supposed to study and pray and write sermons to feed people the Word of God. He instead was filling his insides with the vilest form of pornography. And I looked at him and I said, how could you do that in the house of God? I said, you're in the church office. You're in God's house. How could you do that? He said, well, God doesn't see. God doesn't pay attention to me. And then I read this passage and I realize, now maybe you're a leader listening to me today. Maybe you're a pastor listening to me today. And that's what's happened in your life. Maybe you feel somehow that God failed you, though you know He can't. God will never fail us. God will never forsake us. But in your heart, you feel that God failed you. And now you use that as an excuse to do horrible things in your private time. My friend, God sees. And one day God will expose. May I encourage you before that date, humble yourself under His mighty hand. Ask His forgiveness. Ask Him to change your heart. Ask Him to change your life. It's not too late. It's not too late to repent. Come to God and say, God, forgive me and change me. God will forgive you, God will change you, and God will use you.